INEC defends Tinubu's election in court today. The Independent National Electoral Commission, All Progressives Congress, and the President Bola Tinubu will from today present oral and documentary evidences before Presidential Election Petition Court to justify why Tinubu's victory at the February 25, 2023 presidential poll must be affirmed. A 5-member panel of the Presidential Election Petition Court, presided over by Justice Haruna Tisamani, had on June 23 adjourned hearing till July 3 in 3 different petitions seeking the nullification of the election that produced Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president. The 5-man panel specifically adjourned to the said date for respondents in various petitions to open their respective defenses in the petition, shortly after the petitioners closed their individual cases. The March 1 declaration of candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as winner of the February 25th presidential election has not gone down well with some of the contestants of the poll. Out of the 18 political parties that filed candidates for the election, 5 were strongly dissatisfied and hence, within the 21 days stipulated by law, registered their grievances at the Presidential Election Petition Court, PREPEC, the court of first instance for presidential election cases. However, at the commencement of the hearing on May 30, the Action Alliance AA announced the withdrawal of its petition challenging the declaration of Tinubu as winner of the February 25 presidential election. Few days later, the Action People's Party APP followed suit, thereby leaving the Labour Party LP and the Allied People's Movement APM and the People's Democratic Party PDP to go ahead improving their allegations against the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima and his party, the APC, who are all respondents in the remaining 3 petitions pending at the PREPEC sitting at the Court of Appeal, Abuja. INEC's chairman, Professor Yakubu had, at the end of collation of results of the presidential election on March 1, 2023, announced Tinubu of the APC as the winner of the presidential election. According to him, Tinubu had polled a total of 8,794,726 lawful votes to emerge victorious. He was closely followed by candidate of the PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who scored 6,984,520, and Mr. Peter Obi of the LP, who scored 6,101,533 votes to come second and the third respectively. Displeased with the declaration, Atiku and the Obi had approached the court to argue and prove that Tinubu did not win majority of lawful votes as claimed by the electoral umpire. They submitted that as at the time Mahmood Yakubu announced winner, coalition was ongoing since many of the presidential election results were yet to be uploaded onto the INEC's results viewing IREF portals. They also accused INEC of manipulating the process to favor the ruling APC and the Tinubu. Specifically, the petitioners predicated their grievances mainly on alleged irregularities, substantial non-compliance with the electoral laws, corrupt practices, and Tinubu not being qualified to contest the election, among grounds of double nomination of his vice president, criminal forfeiture of a sum of $460,000 perjury, and the dual citizenship. The non-compliance substantially affected the results of the election, in that Tinubu ought not to have been declared or returned as the winner of the election, Atiku submitted to the PREPEC. In providing all these allegations, Atiku and the Obi called in a total of 40 witnesses and tendering a plethora of exhibits to prove their petition against the election of President Tinubu, while Atiku in his petition marked CA/PEPC/05/2023 2023 called in 27 witnesses to establish his allegations. Obi, in his petition marked CA/PEPC/03/2023, called in 13 witnesses. The witnesses on both sides included willing and supposed party agents, Inec's ad hoc staff, who participated in the February 25th presidential election, as well as experts. Within the 3 weeks allotted Atiku and the Obi to substantiate their allegations, they told through Inec's ad hoc staff how technical glitches at the point of uploading the captured presidential results to the IRF portal affected the expectations of the election. They further maintained that the said technical glitches were related only to the presidential results, as other results like the senatorial and the House of Representatives poll were electronically transmitted to the portal seamlessly. Besides, the petitioners pointed out that the inability or failure to upload the presidential results in real time was deliberate, contrary to the allusion to technical glitches. This was substantiated by a sworn witness of the LP, Mrs. Mpe Clarita Oga, who told the PREPEC that there was no technical glitch across the 6 continents housing Amazon Web Services (AWS) on February 25, when the presidential and the National Assembly elections held. Oga claimed to be a cloud engineer working with AWS. Besides the testimonies of the witnesses, the petitioners presented before the court bundles of evidence such as polling units results, wards results, local government areas results, state results, as well as the final results, which they said Inec manipulated to make Tinubu president. However, many of these results were blurred. According to Professor Eric Ofedu, a mathematics professor and the witness of Obi, over 18,000 result sheets uploaded to the IRF portal were blurred. He claimed the above fact was discovered at the end of his investigation and analysis of the February 25th presidential results uploaded on the IRF portal. Among the states he claimed his investigation and analysis were centered on Air Rivers and the Benue. To prove further the allegation of non-compliance, both petitioners brought in video clips of INEC chairman and the commissioner, Mr. Festus Okoye, assuring Nigerians of real-time transmission of results of the general election. The INEC boss could be heard in the video clip saying there is no going back on the use of beavers machines and on real-time transmission of the results from the polling booths to the INEC server, as if corroborating Mahmood, the Commissioner for Information and the Voter Education, Mr. Festus Okoye, in his own interview also confirmed the 2 forms of collation of results to include transmission from polling units, which would be taken physically to the World Coalition Center. Okoye had said, if there is a dispute, you refer back to the electronically transmitted results. So, when the 5 panel resumes today, it behoves on the INEC, Tinubu, and the APC to present stronger arguments and the evidence to convince the panel and indeed Nigerians that the claims of the petitioners are not true or strong enough to warrant the nullification of Tinubu's victory. The first to put up a defense is the Independent National Electoral Commission, which conducted the February 25th presidential election as well as other categories of election recently. It is an understatement to say that INEC is at the center of the whole storm, having conducted the poll that occasioned the current legal battle. Funny enough, INEC at the close of pre-hearing session hinted that it planned to call just 2 witnesses to disprove the allegations of the petitioners against the declaration of Tinubu as president. The question is, would the evidence of these 2 witnesses be weighty enough when compared with the 41 witnesses of the petitioners? Recall that besides Atiku and the Obi, the APM also called in 1 witness to prove his allegation that Tinubu breached the law when he nominated Shetima as vice presidential candidate, when his party, the APC, had already nominated Shetima as senator representing Bono Central Senatorial District for the senatorial election, which held same day with the presidential election. Also, what document would INEC tender to establish that it indeed did not violate its own regulations and the guidelines for the 2023 general elections, how would the electoral umpire explain over 18,000 blood results it released to the petitioners to prove that the election was marred by irregularities, corrupt practices, and non-compliance with the electoral laws? Also, how would the electoral umpire contradict the testimonies of his own staff presiding officers who testified against the failure of the commission to transmit the presidential election result real-time from polling units to the INEC's IREF portals? Why INEC may have difficulty encountering petitioners' witnesses and the evidence, especially the video evidence on INEC's stance on electronic transmission of results, it would be more difficult for INEC to prove that a technical glitch indeed occurred on February 25, and why on the presidential election results. There is no gainsaying the fact that this same scenario confronts Tinubu and the APC in defending their victory. Although Tinubu had announced that he will be calling 39 witnesses to defend his victory at the poll, his major task would be centered on issues raised about his qualification. He would be joined in this task by his party, the APC, which had also lined up 25 witnesses to establish their victory at the poll. Recall that the petitioners, through their witnesses and the tendered documents, alleged discrepancies in Tinubu's academic records in addition to alleged criminal forfeiture. Atiku had, through one Mike Enahoro Eba, tendered Tinubu's Chicago University certificate of the National Youth Service Corporation NYSC, a copy of Southwest College transcript, and the All Progressives Congress APC membership card. However, while the name on Tinubu's NYSC certificate bears Tinubu Bola Adekunle, on his Southwest College transcript, the column for gender stated bearer as female. The documents were tendered alongside Tinubu's Form EC9 the petitioners obtained from INEC. Others tendered and they also admitted as exhibits by the court a notarized judgment of a United States of America court for criminal forfeiture of assets said to belong to Tinubu, a certificate of service from Mobile Oil Nigeria PLC, and a printout of his alleged Guinea passport. Obi had, at the commencement of hearing through his first witness, Mr. Lawrence Uchechukwu Nweketi, gave evidence of how Tinubu allegedly forfeited the sum of $460,000 over alleged complicity in drug deals. After adopting his statement, the witness then tendered a United States of America USA District Court judgment, which allegedly indicted Tinubu on drug-related offenses, and they ordered his forfeiture of the total sum of $460,000 to the USA. Beyond objecting to the tendering of the documents as well as the evidence of the witnesses, the question is what superior documents and the testimony would Tinubu and the APC present to override that of the petitioners? Do the respondents have any joker underneath their sleeves? Only the next few days can tell. Anthony Q, Kibri's Got Talent.